On episode 247 of He Said, She Said Movie Reviews, we take a look at the movie Avatar, The Way of Water. Welcome to He Said, She Said Movie Reviews. This is the podcast where a happily married couple with similar but different movie tastes take a quick, spoiler-free look at the movies, helping you make the right decision before your next movie. I'm your host, Tim.
And I'm April.
So I just got back from seeing the movie Avatar, The Way of the Water. What do you give this one, Tim? Well, for me, I think 3.75 stars. I'll tell you all about it right after these two trailers. So the first trailer was Barbie. Yeah, a live-action Barbie movie. When I first heard about this, I was like, are you gotta be kidding? But with Margot, Robbie, and Ryan Gosling in it, it might be good. To live in Barbie land is to be the perfect being in a perfect place, unless you have a full-on existential crisis or your kin. This has a release date of July 21st, 2023. And I got to tell you, I do kind of like the trailer for this. If you haven't seen it, you need to Google that and watch the trailer. There's a little bit of an homage in there to Space Odyssey 2001. The second trailer is for a movie that I can't wait to see, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Still reeling from the loss of Gamora, Peter Quill rallies his team to defend the universe and one of their own, a mission that could mean the end of the Guardians, if not successful. This has a release date of May 5th, 2023, starring Chris Pratt, Zoe Saldana, and Dave Bautista. Honestly, for me, I know I'm going to offend a lot of people right now. For me, Guardians of the Galaxy is the best part of the Marvel Universe franchise. I just happen to really love them more than any of the other movies. So I know that offended somebody out there, and for that, well, I'm not sorry. Okay, so Avatar, The Way of Water. Well, once again, if you didn't hear the last episode, April's been really sick, so she didn't go with this, and she probably wouldn't have gone to see it with me anyway. She didn't go see the first one. So I was on my own with this, but I had to give this one to you anyways. This is the story of Jake Sully lives with his newfound families formed on the extraterrestrial moon Pandora. Once a familiar threat returns to finish what the previous started, Jake must work with Neytiri and the army of Na'vi race to protect their homeworld. This falls in the genre of action, adventure, and fantasy. Of course, the director is James Cameron, and if you don't know who James Cameron is, me telling you doesn't probably help, but he's known for Avatar, Titanic, all the Terminator movies, True Lies, and of course, one of my favorites of all times, Aliens. This was written by James Cameron, who's also known for Avatar, Titanic, Terminator movies, and Aliens, and Rick Jaffa, who's known for The Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Jurassic World, and Mulan, and Amanda Silver, who's also known for those same four movies, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, Jurassic World, and Mulan. Of course, this had a cast of thousands in it, but the top ones are Sam Worthington, Zoe Saldana, Sigourney Weaver, Stephen Lang, Kate Winslet, Cliff Curtis, Joel David Moore, CCH Pounder, Edie Falco, Brendan Cowell, Jemaine Clement, Jamie Flatters, Britton Dalton. This is a long movie. When we say long movie, we're talking 192 minutes. That's 3 hours and 12 minutes for those who need help with the math. It's rated PG-13 for sequences of strong violence and intense action, partial nudity, and some strong language. Partial nudity, it's aliens. This movie has a theme just like the first one. Humans are bad for the environment. Bad humans. You're destroying the world, the Earth. You're destroying Pandora. You shouldn't be allowed to live. Kill all humans. That's what this movie's about. Sorry. It's just me being me. Acting and characters, well, I thought the acting was pretty solid in this. This is one of these movies, of course, it's very animated. It's an animated movie, not very animated. It is animated, but it's done with live action motion capture. So all the actors actually acted out the parts. If you didn't know that, the direction, James Cameron, once again, the direction was impressive. Score, wow. The score really added to this movie. It's one of those that I'd love to get a copy of for background music. Cinematography, well, good God, this is one of the most beautiful movies made. I remember when the first Avatar came out, I took my daughter to see that one, and we saw it in 3D and on the big screen, the RPX. And I remember sitting there just jaw on the floor on how beautiful a movie this was. Didn't matter that the story was, the movie was just gorgeous. And I remember sitting down when this movie started, and I was going, wow, this is not as pretty as I remember the first movie being. And I was really, it was kind of upsetting for me. But I think they did that on purpose because the movie starts in the forest of Pandora and then moves out to the ocean very quickly. And the whole movie's filmed out in the ocean on these islands and underwater. And oh my God, does the special effects and it's just, once again, I was sitting there, jaw on the floor, can't believe how beautiful this movie looked. Once again, I saw it in 3D and I saw it on the RPX. I actually saw it in the very same theater that I saw the original Avatar, and highly recommend that you see it in 3D if you can, and go see it on the biggest screen you can. It is. The beauty of this movie is just, like I said, it's mind-boggling. Production design, well, it's awesome. I mean, you just heard everything I just said about the cinematography. They made Pandora come to life. I mean, it's just a beautiful movie. The special effects, it's pure eye candy. I mean, the CGI, it's beautiful. They use the live-action motion capture. I mean, this whole movie is pure eye candy. And that eye candy covers up the faults of the movie, I would say. And I think, once again, the faults to me is the story arc, and we'll get to that in a minute here. Editing, well, I mean, who noticed the editing when the movie was so beautiful? Like I said, it was mind-boggling. Pace, 3 hours and 12 minutes. They could have cut some stuff, I think. But that's, once again, that was 3 hours and 12 minutes of just pure beauty. The first part of the movie was slow. They did a lot of build-up before it became an action movie. And so, yeah, I had a little bit of a problem with the pace, but not that much. The dialogue, some good stuff, about family and sticking together and taking care of each other, but nothing really memorable. And that's where we move into the story arc. This is where I was disappointed here. And let's be really clear here. This is a middle movie. They're turning Avatar into a trilogy. The third movie is supposed to come out sometime in 2024. Probably another Christmas movie in 2024. So this movie suffers the same fate of almost every middle movie in a trilogy. It doesn't have an end. They clearly left it open for a sequel, and I did not know that this was a trilogy when I left the movie theater, but I said to myself, yeah, they're making a third movie, obviously, because they didn't wrap anything up. So this is where I probably would have given this movie 4 stars, 4.5 stars, but for me, like I said, 3.75, because it suffers from that middle movie problem where it's not wrapped up. I sat there going, okay, I guess I have to wait now for whenever to find out how this movie ends. There's no ending in it. And for the characters, there was really no growth for them. So you don't get that satisfying story that there's some kind of ending. There was growth from the start to the end of the movie. They left you hanging. And I can't stand it when a movie leaves you hanging. Even if it's a trilogy, you need to wrap it up somehow for the second movie to have a good, solid ending. That's my only complaint, though, about this movie. But it did knock it down from a 4.5 to a 3.75. So anyways, that's the Avatar, The Way of the Water. I gave it 3.75 stars. If April had seen it, well, I have no idea what she would have given it because she didn't see it and she didn't see the first one. So I can't tell you. We are going to go see the new Tom Hanks movie, A Man Called Otto, in April. Will be going with me on that one. So we won't be recording that. We're actually going to go see that tonight, but we won't be recording tonight, so hopefully by the time we get ready to record that, she'll feel better and we can both do that one together. So anyways, thank you so much for taking the time to listen to this podcast. I really appreciate it. We really appreciate it. I know if April was here, she'd appreciate it too. Thank you so much, and please tell a friend about the podcast. Until next time, see you at the movies.